could be a future individual, but it is also indicated as a whole race of people. You see what I'm saying? As a whole race of people. So Oshosi could literally be us in the West, the black people in the diaspora, from the Caribbean to Canada to North America. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're not remembered in the homeland. As a matter of fact, the homeland look at us and go, oh, no, they're not our people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Based on our behavior. And we look at them and go, oh, no, them people over there in Africa ain't us. I ain't no African. You see what I'm saying? So, it's, you know, so the point I'm trying to make here is it can very well, this particular story of Oshosi is not only the key to what would happen to a people, but because of his hunting ability and the arrow of applied force that has something also to do with Jupiter. You see what I'm saying? You know, because of Sagittarius is the arrow, but you have to look at it as far as Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So as I go on into this particular story, he is key to what is going on, but it's also one of the stories that was written thousands of years ago, again, about us going through this period of what we went through the past 400-500 years. You understand what I'm saying? So this is very interesting here. Like I said, you can get a version of that that's in the book that's in print, is The Way of the Orisha. Let's see who the person's name is, which is an excellent book to read on Oshosi. He's also in Judica Illis's Encyclopedia of Spirits, but that particular piece of the mother, the killing of the mother, is in The Way of the Orishas, The Way of the Orisha by Philip John Newmark, Neimark. Philip John Newmark, The Way of the Orisha. The Orisha, which is very key. Which there's 7 Orishas, but he represents the 8th Orisha that you can also say that was lost in Africa but found in the West. But found in the West. You know, so it's very interesting here. I just wanted to give you that. So we all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We are all right.
Okay.
And I just got to check in with everyone. So everyone is all right. We are doing well here in the remix, of course. Thank you for those of you who are joining us. We have Brother Bobby Hemmit on the line with us tonight, and as we continue our discussion here, let's see, we have plenty of time. We're still looking really good on time here in the remix. Yeah.
Now, well, I'm gonna give a shout out to my queen, or the goddess Linda. You know, for New Year's, for New Year's, I was able to escape her wrath and live another year. You see,
beautiful, beautiful.
I was able to, you know, walk light but carry a big stick. But I just don't seem to have the damn stick. You see, so we're gonna do that, and I want to warn you that at 12 o'clock, there's a tradition down here that a lot of people up north are not allowed to do, because you're not allowed to have guns. But we down in the middle of the South. You see what I'm saying? And all you used to could buy Kentucky Fried Chicken and a pistol down this baby. But anyway, what they do is, and I want to warn you because you might hear it, at 12 o'clock, you're going to hear about all the artillery you can stand going off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They've already started shooting around 7 o'clock already, but they're waiting for 12 because they have to say they conserve their bullets for the grand finale. So these niggas down here light it up. And as a matter of fact, I was getting some, my landlord was working on my damn roof, and he found a bullet embedded in the doggone roof that cut through the shingles and was in the wood. And he said, oh, how did somebody get up here to shoot a gun in the roof? I said, nah, they be shooting them guns on New Year's, and they got to come down somewhere. So I implore people, if you are around the place where they start shooting, don't be walking outside because them bullets got to come down. You see what I'm saying? But that's the kind of stuff they have down here. You see,
Yes,
so
they do it too. They do it here too. So I always say that, don't be outside because the bullets have to come down. And those of you who are shooting know that they can come down, and maybe not where you want to come down.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was, she had to bring the eucalyptus all in here so I can keep on going before the damn mucus take my ass. But anyway, those chemtrails, you see, that whole thing. Now, what we're going to go into now, then you want to answer a question right quick before we go into this?
Yeah, before we get ready to get into the question, I do want to talk about this a little bit, if you can maybe talk about this. I'm trying to think of some of the questions. So many people are sending me questions that they want to know. But if you can speak on sort of the time that we're in, and I know that's a lot of what we're talking about this, but is there something particular? We talked about what we can do to sort of kind of begin to cover ourselves up, to protect ourselves in that sense, but ritualistic, I guess, if that be the word, to say internally, what are some of the things that really the focus should be coming into 2011?
Well, number one, note that what we had in November, right after Halloween, and we missed a day, is an indication that the time's going to be speeding up. Okay. And when the time speed up, you got to be like a basketball player,
right.
And football players and stuff. What happens is they can take an enormous amount of pressure and still make the shot. The game is, get ready to go into overtime, or either get ready to lose it. They need that one shot, but they can make that shot. That is because they have learned to go into the zone. And that's what you're going to have to find, which is your own zone. And in order to find your own zone, you're going to have to slow down. And you're going to really, really have to convince yourself that this is not real. Because that is the reality of what is going on. Of what is going on. So you're going to have to slow down, and you're going to have to get into the zone. I know that might seem a little philosophical, but it also means by this being real, you have to fight being unreal, you have to fight very hard to understand that, number one, if this is unreal, then you can limit the amount of worrying you do. Now, give you another example. We exist in two universes, Universe A and Universe B.
Right.
And as a result, what has really been happening to us is, as we struggle in this particular illusionary phenomena of a universe, there's another universe and another one of us being set up in that other universe and is being exalted. So, as you go through the troubles you're going through and the struggle you're going through here, just remember that all this is a variation or a simulation that is petering out, but the real us is in this other universe that is running concurrent with this one and is right existing with this one. You just can't see it. So you got to understand that part of things that's going to be happening to you is going to actually be you sensing yourself in the other universe.
Right,
but to tap into that particular universe B, as they call it, you're going to have to somehow struggle against worrying that this is real, because it's called the shift. It's called the shift. Now, the first level of the shift, because this illusionary phenomenon can never raise up into reality of what it is, because it doesn't exist. It's not real. So the only thing can happen that can be valuable in this society, in this particular realm, is a consciousness.
Yeah.
Is a consciousness. So this 2012 thing, which is 2011. Why? Because it's called the 11th cosmic power zone. 1 beyond 10. That's 11, not 12. 11.
Right.
And so you have the tree of life, where you have the Sephirotic world, or the Sephiroths, there are 10 luminous emanations, but they are emanations. There's another world on the other side, which was called the Kalipop world, or what used to be called the underworld, and that particular world was shut down since Atlantis. It was this dismal place ruled by a black sun.
Mm-hmm.
That black sun is the black dot. But it's the invisible sun. Now is what Dr. Delbert Blair is talking about. Our sun now has two suns. We just can't see it. But the key here is on the back side of the tree of life, there's a doorway. There's a doorway called Doth, and that Doth is the 11th cosmic power zone. So what we're entering into is the 11th, the shift, the crossover. Now, if 2012 being just a marked date, and we are actually talking about a consciousness, then what will happen here is a 2012 consciousness will develop during the doorway of the 11th cosmic power zone. We going into 2011. You see what I'm saying? And so the twin towers, which is the same two towers that is also in the tarot deck or the tarot card, and they say when the twin tower falls, it represents the old garrison of the old guard given away to the new guard. Well, the 11 is also represented as the towers in the tarot, and the symbolic towers that fell, that fell, which would be 10 years ago, during 2011.
Right.
At 2011, because it was 2001. So now, the key here is, if this is the doorway and this is the shift, what to look forward to in this particular realm, because this particular realm can only do several things. It can either behave on the weather level, which we would see it behaving because of global warming and the Earth's kundalini heating up. We would see a atmospheric change that the government and them have to work 24 hours with chemtrails and HARP and all this stuff to make you think that the seasons are what they are. But had they not worked 24 hours to do these things, you would be outside in a bathing suit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make here is, only thing can happen in this particular realm, because things have to work its way through to this realm, because this realm is this illusionary realm and this physical realm. What it is you have the weather, you have people's behavior, but the greatest thing you have is the change of consciousness. Now, we had one shift during the 80s and the 90s, the first people to go into this wave of consciousness. We have another shift now that's getting ready to happen. All them dead people out there. You see what I'm saying? Because there was supposed to be so many people waking up. It was prophesized. The Rosicrucians had prophecies of it, that the pineal glands would open up. You see what I'm saying? Sometime in the 90s. Nostradamus had prophecies that in the 1990s black people were coming to their own in the Americas, in the Western Hemisphere. There's a prophecy in a French museum now that has that. Edgar Casey talked about the incarnation of John Pineal.
Yes.
John being Tahuti, Pineal being Horus. Tahuti, Horus. Tahuti is melanin. This alchemy. Horus is the light produced by the melanin. You see, so he talked about the incarnation of an avatar called John Pineal. Pineal is the pineal gland. But what happened in the 1990s, only a few people woke up. Now, I think this was by grand design, because I do know that if we had a mass awakening in the 90s, the government would have started killing more people than they killed secretively. They would outright come against it. So a lot of this stuff had to be decoy, including the behavior of black people now. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? To don't alarm him. But the key here is, now with this doorway, this 11 cosmic power zone, as well as this particular eclipse, which you're going to break this thing down, and it's going to explain the great mysteries of the moon. With this great eclipse, you're going to have more and more people waking up. We have just seen in the last